And this is part 4, beloved, of this tremendous vision. And I was saying that there were these men, these people that were spiritual beings, and they were coming out of this tunnel, going in the opposite direction from whence we were walking into the tunnel. They were coming out from their encounter with the Spirit of God. And as they were going out, not coming into the earth realm, they were going out into the spirit realm with their divine assignments that God had given them to carry his life and his purpose and his love. And they were being ushered out with great pomp and great accolades, and they were dressed in a tremendous. Now I said it was dark, but as I was able to see them as they were going out into the spiritual realm, because there was a light over on them, and you could see the robes that they were dressed in, and it was just phenomenal. And so at that, after they several of them were ushered down that tunnel and out into the other direction, it was just a spiritual awareness that you knew what was happening. And I saw this young person at the end of the tunnel beckoning me, come. And so I moved with more desire and with more passion and with more willingness of faith, and I came to a place where the tunnel turned, and you go down to, not down, but go forward to another, because it wasn't going down. You go forward to another opening, which was taking us to the entryway of this altar area that opened up and was no longer in the earth realm of that altar. It was a spiritual altar that doorway, that hallway carried us into. We were watching the natural events, but this tunnel carried us out of the natural realm into the spiritual realm of that ceremony and of that experience. And as I got to this doorway, there was angels there. There was another child standing there that would guide you, and then there was women that had these bowls, clear bowls, and in these bowls was water with these clear rocks in the bottom, and these bowls were clear, and it's what the prayers and the desires of your life were placed in those bowls and carried to the altar. There was a person who was ministering as a priest on this altar, and they were offered before God. It was incredible. And so I was there, and then after this man this person who was ushering us into this area said, now is the time, with great intensity, to give your prayer to God, and give me your prayer. And so I gave him my prayer, and it was placed in the bowl, and I didn't have anything written. It was just like out of my being came this desire, and it became a tangible something that was in my hand that I placed and that I gave, and it was placed in the clear bowls of water, and they were offered before God. And then the child ushered you over to the altar area where you were to lay yourself down prostrate. And as God received the prayer of your heart, the desire of your heart. His Spirit literally picked me up off the floor or off of this altar. I was literally picked up by His Spirit and completely I felt the Spirit of God begin to squeeze and reshape and remold, and I was no longer this human being. I was no longer this physical man. I was now becoming completely transfigured into this engulfed in the very hand of God. Oh my God, it was just fantastically invigorating. I awoke with this roar in my spirit and this roar of wonderful life and dominion and power, and everything in me that was of the human nature, that was of sinfulness and unclean, was completely torn out, and I was like revived in the presence of God. And I remember laying there, breathing a fresh inflow of the breath of God. And I awoke with this amazing awareness that I had returned into my physical body, into this room, into my room. And I got up out of bed and I walked with such incredible care that I knew I was still tangibly in that presence of God. And I walked over and I picked up the clock, and it was 5 a.m. in the morning. And I'll never forget this consecration, this refreshing, this tremendous encounter of our true and living God. Beloved, we have no idea how real God wants to be to us. He wants to take us beyond the realms of our nice little comfort experience that we think we're having of Him. And He wants us to really have an encounter, being completely in the grip of His life and of His presence. I want to encourage you, yearn for the living God, for the tangibility, for He is a living God. For He so yearns for you and I. I encourage you, my brothers, my sisters, sons and daughters of the living God. This is the time for the manifestation and the outpouring of our fellowship with our God. God bless you.